Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking some pretty complex financial strategies and turning them into clear, actionable insights. We are unpacking a topic that is an absolute game changer if you're looking to step into the world's largest financial market. Yeah, we're talking about Forex and more specifically, how you can conquer it from the absolute ground up. So, let's dive right into this massive question. How in the world do you enter a world-class exchange? A market where literally trillions of dollars move every single day, without gambling everything you own. For decades, right, this barrier to entry felt impossibly high. It felt like this VIP club reserved exclusively for institutional banks and Wall Street giants. For a lot of us, the Forex market feels like this impenetrable fortress of high-stakes gambling and crazy complex institutional contracts. But believe it or not, there's a secret bridge built specifically for retail traders. Get this, you can actually enter this arena risking less than the cost of your morning cup of coffee. I know, it sounds almost too good to be true, but it's a very real, highly strategic mechanism designed for pure accessibility. Section 1. Micro Incent Accounts Explained. Let's look at how this builds your core trading foundation. Now, what's really fascinating here is how a micro account basically shrinks the massive scale of Forex down to a super accessible entry point. In traditional trading, a standard lot is 100,000 units of currency. That requires some serious capital. But a micro account executes trades in micro lots, which is just 1,000 units. Because that trade size is slashed, the capital you need drops drastically. You can literally start trading with a deposit of anywhere from a single buck up to $100. Taking it a step further, the Cent account grabs that accessibility and magnifies your visual balance. Say you deposit just $10. Your trading dashboard isn't going to show a measly 10 bucks. It shows 1,000 cents. The whole balance is denominated in cents. This brilliant little conversion lets you trade with what are called nanolots, just 100 units of currency. It gives you the granularity to make tiny, ultra-precise trades while making your account balance feel, way more substantial. So the real crucial takeaway here is that these accounts give you genuine market conditions, but with drastically reduced risk. We're talking low capital requirements, minimized financial exposure, and unparalleled access, whether you're a student or just trading on a really tight budget. But the absolute biggest perk? You're getting real market experience using real money. Moving on to Section 2, the ultimate training ground. Now, this brings up a pretty obvious question. Why use real money at all when free virtual demo accounts are everywhere? Well, this brilliantly illustrates the whole psychological shift. If you've ever traded on a demo account, you know the biggest flaw is that there's zero emotional skin in the game. It's super easy to hold a losing trade when you're playing with Monopoly money. But the second you step into a Cent account, everything changes. Even though you might literally be risking pennies, the fact that it's actual real money forces you to deal with real human emotions. You have to confront fear and greed head-on, and honestly, that's exactly where true trading discipline is born. Beyond just the psychology, this environment gives you massive technical advantages. Let's say you want to use expert advisors, or EAs. Those are automated computerized trading systems. Now, a strategy might look absolutely incredible when you backtest it on historical data, right? But then it completely fails in a live, volatile market session. Cent accounts let you live test these algorithms in the real world safely. You get to check actual execution quality, monitor server latency, and experience real slippage, which is that annoying gap between your expected price and the actual execution price. You're validating strategies against live spreads and swaps, all without risking a massive corporate portfolio. Section 3. Platforms and top brokers. Because to wield these strategies effectively, you absolutely need the right tools and access. Choosing your platform is going to be your first major operational decision, and you've got 3 incredible options here. TradingView is amazing for advanced cloud-based web charting and tapping into a huge social community of traders. Then there's the industry standard MetaTrader 4. It's user-friendly, incredibly reliable, and basically the go-to for running those automated expert advisors we just talked about. And finally, if you want to branch out into things like stocks and futures alongside Forex, MetaTrader 5 offers this advanced multi-asset platform with even faster execution speeds. Now, once you have your platform, you're going to need a broker to actually execute the trades. Take a look at this breakdown of top regulated brokers. Whether you want Exness for its instant withdrawals and unlimited leverage, RoboForex because it's ideal for EAs and gives you a free VPS to keep your bots running around the clock, or maybe AvaTrade for their fixed spreads and top-tier regulatory safety, there is definitely a specialized secure home for your small account. Section 4, Mastering Forex Risk Management. Because having a great broker is one thing, but protecting your capital, that's the real challenge. Let's talk about why most retail traders actually fail. The number one killer of small accounts? A total lack of discipline when it comes to leverage. Just look at this number, $50,000. If you deposit just $100 into a micro account and your broker gives you a 1 to 500 leverage, you suddenly control $50,000 in the live market. It is an incredibly powerful double-edged sword. Sure, you get the potential for high returns on tiny capital, but man, the downside risk is exceptionally steep. Because of that massive leverage, the market really doesn't have to move much to trigger a total catastrophe. A microscopic adverse price move of just 20 pips could instantly wipe out your entire equity if you aren't disciplined. When you're controlling 50 grand with only $100 packing it up, there is literally zero room for error. So, to survive the climb and keep your account from blowing up, you absolutely must master these 3 mandatory tools. First is the stop loss. This is non-negotiable. It's an automated order that gets you out of a losing position before it turns catastrophic. Second is the take profit, which just automatically locks in your gains when the price hits your target. And third is the trailing stop, a super dynamic tool that actively follows the price as it moves in your favor. It protects those earned profits while still giving the trade room to breathe. Using these lets you handle that crazy Forex volatility with surgical precision. Section 5, Scaling your trading account. All right, so once your risk is managed, how do you actually grow that tiny account into a professional portfolio? Well, scaling is definitely a marathon, not a sprint, and it happens in 3 phases. Phase 1 is pure consistency. You aren't trying to get rich here, you just want to refine your entries and maintain a positive win rate. Phase 2 is where we introduce compounding gains. Instead of pulling out your small profits, you reinvest them to incrementally increase your lot sizes. And finally, Phase 3 is transitioning up to a standard tier account to get those lower transaction costs. This timeline brilliantly shows what that journey looks like. For the first 3 to 6 months, your only job is maintaining a favorable risk-to-reward ratio. In the midterm, as that initial $100 grows to $200, you just increase your lot size from 0.01 to 0.02. I know, it sounds tiny, but this exact incremental discipline is what creates a massive, exponential growth curve over time. A really crucial point in your scaling journey is hitting this specific financial threshold, the $2,000 to $5,000 mark. Why is this specific number so important? Well, at this size, the spread costs on a micro setup, that gap between the buy and sell price, actually become too expensive. That is the exact moment you transition into a standard raw ECN account. By graduating to this tier, you're tapping into much deeper liquidity and significantly lowering those transaction costs. I want to leave you with this really powerful thought. Micro and cent accounts are definitely not just kiddie pools for beginners. They are robust tools used heavily by seasoned experts to test things like limit orders or hedge complex strategies. Starting small isn't a weakness, it's a foundational investment in your own education and psychological strength, which, honestly, are the absolute richest assets any trader can own. We've laid out the entire blueprint for you in this explainer, from understanding nanolots to managing that lethal double-edged sword of high leverage. The Forex market offers absolutely unlimited opportunities, but it fiercely demands that you respect the risk. Having seen the path from a $10 deposit all the way up to a professional standard portfolio, I'll leave you with one final question before you step onto the exchange floor. Are you ready to trade your ego for discipline and finally invest in your greatest trading asset, yourself?